Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again this particular morning. I'm so glad to be able to stand here and share with you a message, a wonderful message, I hope. You know, this is a day that just yesterday my brother down in Mississippi became Mayor Pro Tem. I think this is the first shot he went at it, and he's got it in that position. And it is also a time when I'm looking at this morning when I wake up, I'm hearing people talking about the various problems. I'm talking about people now seeing Biden as being weak when they didn't see anything wrong with Donald Trump. You see what I'm basically saying? You still see this mixture. People on different pages for different reasons. I listen to and I hearing people coming and complaining about what the vice president has said in relationship to people coming from places like Mexico, Guatemala, and etc., South America, for relief, for freedom. And the people are so disgusted. They said Biden and Pamela, Miss Harris, campaign on the fact of being compassionate. And all of these things. And some people are saying, I heard Miss Jenner wants to be governor of California. She wants to make sure the wall gets up. She wants to make sure that anybody that gets arrested gets kicked out of the country. Oh my God. Don't Americans ever learn? Don't you ever learn? And I'm talking to every last one of you. I'm not just talking to some. Yes, I'm talking to white people, but I'm talking to black people. Yes, I'm talking to men, but I'm talking to women. Yes, I'm talking to old folk, and I'm talking to children. Y'all got to wake up. Look, let me tell you something. You are the way you are because you have been raised by bigots. You have been raised by racists. You have been raised by haters. You have been raised by liars. You have been raised by criminals. You have been raised by Satan. Yes, that's all of the world is raised by those elements. Now, grant you, some are not as bad as others, but they're still the same. Either you come waking up or you going to sleep. Either way, you're still in the same old baggage. And it amazes me how people can know what it means to want to live, to know what it means to have access, to know. And yet, because you allow people to become billionaires or trillionaires if they can, and they trick you to think that that's the good way. This is the way that you can even get there one day, knowing damn well you're never going to get there. But they got you thinking that while they are robbing you blind. You kids can't go to college. They can't have that stuff free. Why? Because the billionaires are robbing you. And everybody going along with it. They can't get health care. They can't get cures for sicknesses and diseases. They can't afford medication for insulin. They can't afford medication for Alzheimer's. Why? Because, my friends, there ain't no love here. Nothing but a demon-possessed society. All about M-O-N-E-Y. They say, God says, I made the world and gave you everything. And all you got to do is know how to see it, receive it. But no, you let somebody else come around and take it from you and put money on it, tell you they own it. And though you need everything, you got to come to them. What? To get the money so you can get the stuff. You've been robbed. Come on, people. You see how the people are following Donald Trump? You know they're following blindness. You know they're following deceit and lies. Well, that's the rest of you as well. You might not be following that blindness, but you're following blindness nonetheless. Blindness nonetheless. The evidence of it is people who can't go to college because they don't have money. People who can't pay their mortgage bills, who got mortgages. All of this stuff is supposed to be free, ladies and gentlemen. Every last one of us supposed to be living here on this earth as though we're in heaven. In America, we're supposed to be living as though we're in heaven. In China, they're supposed to be living as though they're in heaven. In Russia, they're supposed to be living as though they're in heaven. In Africa, they're supposed to be living as though they're in heaven. In Guatemala, they're supposed to be living as though they're in heaven. All over the earth, they're supposed to be living as though they are in heaven. Why? Because the resources have been given by the power, God. Those who need it, you, the people. How to get it? Those who benefit from it have a role to play in the manifestation. Everybody can do something and cause something. And it makes you part owner into something. And when you want something, whether you need it, want it, or desire it, is at your disposal. My goodness. That is plain and simple. Can't no Republican tell you that. Can't no Democrat tell you that. Can't no white man tell you that. Did I leave Africa out a few minutes ago when I was talking? Talking about Africa too. Can't no, listen. In order to get this information I just shared with you, you got to be taught by God. Now, am I saying I was taught by God? Yes, I'm saying I was taught by God. First of all, God made God available to me in a moment when there was no doubt. Then the evidence appeared. On top of all the other stuff, in a moment, the evidence appeared. That eliminated all doubt. Now, I have been brought into this society. I have been standing up for what's right, and at every turn, it's seen as if people reject it. People reject it because it's foreign to them. People reject it because they don't believe it. People reject it because it's the truth, and people don't want to accept the truth. They'll accept the lie in a minute. The truth, you have to beat them side the head. And I'm not talking about a person. The truth, you have to beat them side the head over and over again before they accept it. So I go out in the community. I travel a country, even some abroad. Talk about the love of God. Just to spread the news. Just to spread the news in this country. Do the same thing over and over. Just to spread the news. Pamphlets, brochures, booklets, CDs, DVDs, cable access, radio. All around. Spreading the wonderful news of paradise on earth, the moment of truth, life of victory eternal, and basic human rights for all people. Listen, after spreading the message, run for office to champion these things. Well, I look at it, hey, this is the highest order, so I run for president 2 or 3 times. Couldn't get there, run for governor at least twice. Run for mayor a couple of times. Run for United States Senate a couple of times. All of this just to share this message with you. But I do it different. I don't ask you for your money because money, it doesn't work for God. I give you the truth. And this truth is supposed to be able to touch you if you are believers of the truth. It is supposed to touch you if you care about other people. If you care about other people, somebody show you a way in which you can see that that is taken care of. The evidence that you care is by you putting your support behind it. But you don't put your support behind it, you don't care. Your words are null and void. They don't mean a thing. So what I'm telling you today, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The way America is presenting herself is null and void about this democracy that you're talking about. Yes, this is the democracy that you're talking about. It does not appear to be half as bad as that stuff that you got from Donald Trump. But you must remember that stuff that you got from Donald Trump came from right here, from this democracy. It came from right here. And so there's no way you can justify staying here because you're going to be a creator of demons and demonic systems. I just wallow over and become one. Unless you listen to one that knows you want peace. Every last one of you want peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of your life. You want your dreams to be fulfilled. You don't want to have to worry about liars and cheaters and all these kinds of things. There's only one way you can do it. That's by treating people like you want to be treated. That's by recognizing that everybody, I don't care what color they are, what gender they are, whether they're straight or gay, they are made by God, not by you. You don't have to judge them. You're supposed to love them. Everything that comes on this earth, walking around like human beings, you're supposed to love. Anything that got life, you're supposed to love. Find some way to get along with it, not to be destroyed by it. And so the resources have been given. All you got to do is have the heart, because you got the talent and the skills. You're doing it every day. But the heart, the lack of heart is what keeps it so divided. That lack of heart is what keeps pain and suffering and people in prisons filled up and drug and all these other things that you say you can't stand. And then you want to stand up talking about Roe versus Wade, Roe v. Wade, whatever you call it. That's what you want to spend up talking about. Bring that baby into this world so we can dog her. And that's what you're doing. I want to tell you this. Everything that you're doing, you can give yourself an AA plus. You can give yourself a Z. But I'm telling you, the power of love has not been vindicated. The power of love has been trampled on by everybody on the face of the earth. The power of love is being trampled on by Republicans. The power of love is being trampled on by Democrats. The power of love is being trampled on by white people and black people. The power of love is being trampled on by the oppressor and the oppressed. One of them got to stop. The oppressed, you should be able to stand up, or you should be able to open up a heart and say, hope there's a God, and let that spirit come in there anyway. You might be surprised. But anybody that would have let another people oppress them just to live, knowing you're going to die anyway, and they let you live a long time, you get old and ugly, dying from some kind of sickness or diseases that they have allowed to come upon you because you never had the right to live, or you rejected the right. Come on, people. Come on, young folk. Come on, young folks. People old as me don't talk like me. But I know good and well you think like me. So come on.